Well, good morning you guys, and welcome to Washington DC. The last time the Silver Dream Machine and I were on our travels, you caught us up in Chicago. So this is going to be a well-travelled 911 996, as you will see. But today we're on our way down to Orlando. I've saved you the boredom of the first 6 hours to get here to Washington DC on my journey down. But the rest of it I think you'll find quite interesting. We'll have a little wander around Washington DC, and then I'm going to put the 911 on the train, and I've actually booked a room on the train to go down. But let's talk about that as we go. So we are currently facing south, and I'm always amazed how small the White House is. The middle bit that you're seeing in front of you there is actually called the Residence. And over to this side is the famous West Wing, which is that little building there. And then obviously over here is the East Wing, and just over the top of the White House you can see the Washington Monument. We'll go and have a look at that in a moment. But I'm always surprised it's not that big a building. Sure, it's a big building, but it's not huge. I'm also intrigued as to how quiet Washington DC is compared to New York. Well, in fact, compared to anywhere, it's very, very quiet. This is Pennsylvania Avenue. You're going looking down there to the White House. There's nobody here on a Sunday morning. This would not be the case in New York City. So take a look at this, guys. The National Mall with the Lincoln Memorial up there at the end, which we'll go and have a look at. And as I turn round, the Washington Monument in all its glory. Wow. Now, I have rented one of these lovely electric scooters, which don't allow me to go in the parks, but do allow me to get around a bit more flexibly. So let's see how far I can get up towards the Lincoln Memorial. Well, just a moment to sit and enjoy the view. I am right in the heart of Washington. Take a look at this. And that's where we were, down there at the Lincoln Memorial. And then take a look over here. Whoa! White House, South Lawn. Very cool. Just to keep going in the manner that we have, that's where we were, down there with the poorly builders finished Washington Monument, but nevertheless beautiful. And then as I turn round, let's have a look at this. Oh my god, the Capitol. Isn't it majestic? Well guys, this is Pennsylvania Avenue, eventually heading up to the White House. How cool is this? Electric scooter, Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, right at the centre of the road. Love it. Oh, siren. Hope that's not for me. These scooters are absolutely brilliant. You know, you just get the app, put your credit card in, and then it is $25 for the day, I think. I'm not sure if that's per ride, but if it's per ride, then it's probably quite expensive. But it's a great way to get around when you haven't got a lot of time. Or even if you do and you just can't be bothered to walk everywhere. A day like today, this is perfect. So quiet again. Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington DC. And I'm able to talk to myself on camera without feeling like an idiot. Oh. That will be me behaving like a cyclist going through a red light, which I totally didn't think about because I was talking to myself. Oh well. Now, just a little bit of history here. This obviously is the place where Abraham Lincoln met a pretty horrible end, I'm afraid to say. Ford's Theatre.
The destination is on your left, across theatre.
And that on the end there is the FBI building. There we go. Take too many pictures of that in case they get cross with me. So let's just talk about what we're doing here. If I were to drive from where I live in Connecticut down to Orlando, it would be a 16 hours 22 minutes journey, 1109 miles. Now, I'm not averse to getting in this wonderful car and doing that. As you guys know, we've been over to Chicago just a couple of weeks ago, driven down to Tennessee, North Carolina for the Tail of the Dragon. But I think 1109 miles, that's quite a long way to do it once and then to come back as well. So I thought what we would do is try a different way this time and see if we can do it on the train. So we are now here at Lawton Station in Virginia. It's about half an hour south of Washington DC, downtown DC. So no great distance down from DC. DC from my house is about 5 hours at the weekend. Easy really, no problem at all, I don't mind doing that. And then as you saw, I got a bit of time to play in DC and just check out all the sites. So that just spices up the journey a little bit. And but if I can save time by not having to just sit on the road and put on miles on this lovely car. I mean, I don't mind putting miles on it really, but you know, it's nice to try something else. So we're going to put the train. I'm not going to put the train on the car. We're going to put the car on the train. Super weird to think that my car is in one of those, but here we are. Well guys, we are on our way, we are moving anyway, as you can see. Time for a little tour of my humble abode. Well, my abode until 9 AM tomorrow morning at least. It is cosy in here. This is the room that I have chosen. It is actually called a roomette, and it comprises of 2 seats, as you can see. And then I have the bed down in the down position at the moment. If I raise you up here, you can see it's comfortable enough up there. We'll see what it's like a little bit later when I get up there. But this is called a roomette. There was one option that was more expensive than this, and it was $300 or $400 more, which gave me a little of extra space. But actually I'm not so sure that it'll be an awful lot more comfortable, to be honest with you. I think it was more like a room with a chair to one side rather than underneath the bed. But there we are. This overall I think was about $800, $850 to go from DC down to Orlando. And we'll see what it's like. I am not entirely convinced that I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. Noisy train horns, tickety tick, tickety tick. We'll see what it's like, and I will report back later. Dinner also at 7 o'clock. I have my own table booked, and there's a choice of stuff that I can order, so it seems quite civilized. This is by no means the Pullman Orient Express. I didn't bring my my smoking jacket and cigarette holder to take down with me to dinner, and I don't suspect that there is a piano and candles down there for cocktails. But nevertheless, I'm feeling pretty good about my choice. Actually, it's saving me a drive. It is really cozy in here. I've got privacy. I've got my iPad. There's air conditioning in here. The conductor, or conductress I should say, was very nice. So I've got what I need. I just hope I can sleep, and I hope the food's okay. I'll report more as we go. Well, this is perfectly civilized, I must say. I could not be happier or more comfortable at this moment in time. Peace and quiet. I'm editing the video that you are watching as we speak, so thoroughly enjoying myself. I'm ready to eat though. I might have to go and get something to eat in a minute, I think.
Yeah. And then they had these. There's definitely the fabric.
Well folks, you joined me at the end of the evening in my bed. You had to be a contortionist to get into it because the ceiling is less than a foot above my head. But nevertheless, it's quite comfortable. Dinner was really good actually. The food was fabulous, although my dreams of brandy, cigars, singing by the piano and finishing off with the Charleston, I'm afraid are shattered. But it was good. So I will see you in the morning. Good morning. Well, I got through it. It was a bit like trying to sleep in a bunk bed through an earthquake, but it was quite comfortable. I did get some sleep. Now we're on our way into Sanford, where I can go in and choose my new exhaust with Flat 6 Motorsports. So that's the next time you'll see us.